Hi everybody, Dacob here. Welcome back to the Fragrant Bunker. It's that time of the year, we're approaching St. Valentine's Day, but any time of the year really, this list goes, and that would be the top 10 date perfumes. Perfumes to wear when you're going out on a date. We're going to cover the territory when it comes to all kinds of dates. Now, it can be, a date with a person that you've known for the longest time. It can be a date with somebody you've just met for the first time. It can be a date that you already are kind of thinking and probably is going to turn out to be a one-night stand, and then it's we'll go, over. It's going to be an innocent date. It's going to be a sexual date. It's going to be, different facets, the spectrum of dates. So let's get to it. First, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Push the join button next to the subscription button. Become a member today. Gain access to extra perks. You can also join me on Patreon, superdacob, all spelled together there as well for extra perks. This video is being filmed live in front of a live virtual audience. I live stream several times a week on my main superdacob channel. Go follow me there and join the live chats. Hi to my chats. To my co-chattors, to the chat. The first one. Okay, now listen. Listen, Linda. I have to put this one because I just find it so elegant and sophisticated. Just two things. For me, as you guys know, some of you might know, perfume knows no gender. Brands market fragrances to men, women, or whatever. Wear whatever smells good to you on you, is what I say. Having said that, second thing, everything I say in this video is for entertainment purposes only, not rooted in truths or facts. Everything's alleged and just my opinion. Now, let's get to the first elegant fragrance. Pour Monsieur by Chanel. Hands down, this thing is so beautiful. If you want to make a good impression, first date, you're going out with someone, and you don't want to overpower who you're going out with. This is for the first date. This is my tip for the first date. You don't want to make them smell you constantly. It's a very delicate and sophisticated thing. Smell and dating a person, because obviously subconsciously the person is going to smell the pheromones, the hormones, all their body subconsciously is going to either clash or mesh with yours. Whether they like it or not, whether you like it or not, forget about all the perfumes. First and foremost, your body will smell their body, not their perfume. They will, not their synthetic perfume that they're wearing, not the external perfume that they spray on themselves. But you will be smelling, first and foremost, their hormonal composition. And your body will tell you if it's a match or not. So you're automatically going to either be able to smell them good or smell them bad. So there's not very much you can do to cover up certain smells with fragrances. It just doesn't work. And I'm not talking about negative odors. I'm talking about on a hormonal level. It's a subconscious thing. Your body will tell you. So let's say we've passed the first test and you like, subconsciously your body's telling you, oh, this could be potentially a good partner, a good DNA match for us. Now we can add the perfume on top. This fragrance does not try to overpower and overbear the base, the hormonal level of smell that you emanate from yourself. So when you go on a date and you want to be sophisticated but respectful of the other person's space, you wear Pour Monsieur, Eau de Toilette. This thing also literally, when I wear it, or when anybody wears it, I have the feeling it invites your partner to come closer to you and smell you even deeper and more intensely. Beautiful, beautiful, clean in a way. It doesn't have to turn into a sexual date. It can remain very platonic. It's kind of for the first date. So it can remain quite platonic. Eau de Toilette though, not the Eau de Parfum. The Eau de Toilette is Chypre. The Eau de the eau de toilette is chypre, the eau de parfum is a fougere. So there's lavender in the eau de parfum, the eau de toilette is oak moss, baby. Oak moss, ginger, beautiful Sicilian bergamot, smidge of cardamom, and then we have that labdanum that they never listed there, but I smell it. It's just divine. Next one is for the overpowering. Now, another thing I would like to mention that in this video, I will touch base on different price categories as well. So you don't have to spend a lot of money to go on a date with someone, just to be very clear. And a date doesn't have to be inviting or being invited to a dinner, and then who pays the dinner, who pays, no. It can also be done on a budget. All you need on a date is you and your partner, really. The perfume is an add-on if you wish, but you don't have to spend a ton of money to go on a date. You can also just spend the time in a park together, watching the sun go down and the moon come up and the stars. There's no need to consume in order to go on a date. So just to be clear about that. So with that in mind, I also have a few perfumes that are what we could define the cheapy category. Doesn't make them any less good. Actually, they're wonderful. Here's one for you that as of late, it's become a little bit harder to find, but when you do find it, it is usually heavily discounted. So it's a beautiful, beautiful, in my opinion, still, despite all the reformulations, beautiful bang for your buck, if you may. Agent Provocateur. Okay, now Agent Provocateur originally was released in a ceramic bottle. Divine, to die for. Ceramic bottle. Now it's a glass bottle. They've cheapened it a little bit, but I still adore the smell of this damask rose with a ton of amber. Amber, and of course, I mean, Vivienne Westwood's kid initiated Agent Provocateur, and it was gorgeous when it was first initiated, but then the brand got sold. So now it's not anymore, the lingerie brand is not anymore what it used to be. But this fragrance, let me just, you gotta take this little protective thing off, just like the Gaultier perfumes have. Hold on, let me just, oh man. Musky amber, and then rose. So divine, so sensual. I mean, it is like lingerie, Agent Provocateur. This was their first perfume. There's flankers of this one. There's other perfumes that Agent Provocateur released, but this is the OG, the first one, in that kind of powder pink bottle that looks like a little teardrop or something else with the Agent Provocateur logo on it. And this is my favorite of all of them. It is the OG. I mean, this is the type of fragrance that you wear when you really, really, really are. Oh, it just came all over me. The thing popped. It's like, oh, Dacob, you're tickling me too much. Hold on, let me put it back. Okay, there you go. Naughty little bottle. This is the one you wear when you are sure. When you are completely certain of what you want from your partner, and you really, really, really want to provoke them into a state of ecstasy and desire. Beautiful. Really, really beautiful when you're going to an art space, an art gallery, a museum. If you're going on that type of date, it has that kind of intellectual aspect to it. But you want to bring in the pulsating carnal into that constellation, into the intellectual, artistic stimulation. You want those two levels. That's when I would wear this. And it's very flirtatious, but best when you're doing the flirtatious outside of the context of flirtatious. Not to, you don't have to wear it in the bedroom where it's like obvious, duh, this works in the bedroom. But it's kind of fun to wear it in places where it would not be so obvious. That's why I'm saying a place like a museum or a gallery, and you're going on this intellectual date, but then you're adding that sexuality into it. Oh, it works so good. Love it. So that's my example of that type of going on a date. Now, there's also a beautiful innocent date perfume. You're going on your maybe even second or third date, but you're not the person who jumps in bed right away. You're that person that kind of takes their time to get to know the other partner, and you want to signal to them you're not so easy to get. You want to signal to them that you have other plans in mind than just to hit the hay. You actually want to really get to know the person more. You want to signal to them that you believe that, after you've been out on maybe a couple of dates already, you're now ready to take the next step and kind of get to know them even deeper. Still, you haven't had any, sex yet, but you want to signal to them that you want more from them, that this could become a long-term thing, that you want to become serious with them. And I found this one to really, really signal that type of message when you go on a date with someone. So be careful, because if you don't want them to think that, don't wear this perfume. But it would be Christian Dior's Belle de Jour, which is not to be confused with Belle du Jour, which is a movie with Catherine Deneuve, a very different vibe. It has nothing to do with this perfume. So this is a powder pear peach concoction, okay? And it is very, very clean, innocent. Rose, peach, woody notes. And they also state that it has an ice cream accord. It's like a fluffy cotton candy ice cream vibe. I love it. The pear peach combo here, it's just beautiful, fresh, and delicate. All of these aspects, the fruity aspect, the powdery aspect, the woody aspect, they're all dosed just right. Nothing is overbearing, nothing is overpowering, everything is smooth. Smooth and innocent, but serious and earnest. Earnest and to the point. And it kind of signals, hey, let's get to know each other more. I really like you. It's very, very honest. So that's that type of date, Belle de Jour, if you're getting more serious. Then the next one I really, really enjoy for a more mature type of date. This one I would not, you can wear no matter what age you are and you're going on a date, wear whatever perfume you love, I always say. But this one, truth be told, I think is more befitting somebody who's in their 30s and older. And it is targeted to men, but like I said, again, wear whatever you want. But I do really like this one on guys, and when they're a little bit, above 30, is when this one really hits all the right tones for me. Truth be told, this is a perfume that I would recommend to wear when you're not going on a date. Like, just wear it when you're in the right mood. Let's say you're going to the gym, you got stuff to do, You're gonna go hit the town after the gym. You're gonna go shopping. Then you have some appointment somewhere, and you're gonna go to a bar with two friends or whatever. And in all of these instances throughout the day, there's a possibility. There's a possibility that you might meet somebody by chance that you kind of like, and you end up being on a date with them that day. You end up getting to know them more that day, right? When you're feeling that type of way, when you wake up in the morning and you're feeling like, I'm in a mood to meet someone today. So it's still a non-existent plan for a date when you spray this perfume on, but in your mind, you're open for it, right? And I think this perfume will help you meet somebody if you're open for it that day, and it might turn out to be a date. Well, here it is. It's Obsession for Men. I kid you not. This thing is so beautiful. It's perfect for exactly that scenario that I described to you. You know, up until a couple of years ago, the Obsession for Men distribution Coty, as of now, that was made in the US had oak moss listed in it. The made in Europe version, whichever European country it was made in, I think in France, did not have the oak moss listed in it. But now I think they've streamlined it to have the same ingredients. This was because of IFRA regulations, but I'm not so sure if you can still find the oak moss version. Oh, let's layer it. I don't care at this point. Oh, it's, you know what? It's so beautiful. And yes, it's a little bit of a cliche of a perfume. It's a little bit of a macho type of vibe, but it's also kind of powdery fresh at the same time. Clean, like almost like, yeah, you could say it's like barbershop type of clean, but it has an ambery vibe. There's a warmth in there as well. There's a sandy, beachy, powdery vibe going on. There's spicy, just a little bit. It's mature, you know. It's for a guy 30 and up. And Mahora in the chat says, so it's a cruising fragrance. You could say, yeah, you could. I mean, for guys, a cruising fragrance, definitely. It can be a cruise. Although, usually, if you're into the cruising stuff, sometimes, you know, people don't like really perfumes at all, just skin smell. So, cruising depends in which context. Okay. But, so anyway, Obsession for Men for that type of date. Date, non-date. You're open to meeting new people type of date vibe. Perfection. It's so beautiful. So beautiful. Now, Audrey says in the chats, I love a barbershop smell. There's one perfume that is more barbershop than this. Because this, I mentioned barbershop, but it's not full-blown barbershop vibes. There's a full-blown barbershop vibes perfume that I would recommend if you are that sporty type of guy, also chick, and you're going out on a date and you do want to show off your body. I know it sounds superficial and very cliche, but you know, all the signaling, wanting to show off your strength. It also shows your insecurities, really. But for example, when you are with that person on a date and they by accident touch you, you know, they just kind of whiff around you and you kind of tighten your muscles immediately and you want to show them how like strong you are. Don't deny it. You know you've done it before. If you're that type of person and you want to kind of give off the, you know, the barbershop, I'm a clean guy or chick, but, you know, bodybuilder, but not necessarily bodybuilder, but sporty lifestyle, super clean, almost too clean. If you're that type of person that right after sex, you got to take a shower, you're not my cup of tea if you're like that. But anyway, the perfume is my cup of tea. Here it is. Highly recommend Yves Saint Laurent's Rive Gauche pour Homme Eau de Toilette. Unfortunately discontinued in this can version, and mine is all dented because I've had it a long time now. I adore it to bits. Pure barbershop smell. There's still a bit of liquid in there. It is Intense. I'm just layering all of them at this point. Oh, such a vibe. This thing is spicy, but barbershop. Almost like Old Spice meets shaving foam, but make it very sophisticated. Like back in the day when everybody used to smoke and Yves Saint Laurent had cigarettes branded with their own logo on it, like that level of sophistication in perfumery. It's like the barbershop perfume elevated to like big heights. Beautiful, beautiful fragrance for that kind of jock type that wants to be preppy, but it's you're dating a jock. You're going on a date with the jock. We'll go. IYK. Now, the next one is, how many do we have left? So, okay, we're halfway through. So I want to share the next one with you. The next one is a breezy date. You know, sometimes, I guess at a certain level, I mean, people that have certain, I don't know, type of money, you would get to know somebody and then you say, oh, let's travel together. And your date is literally a trip. Yeah, it happens rarely, but it does happen. That type of state of mind or mental setup that makes you believe, you know what, I'm going to go anywhere with this person. And we're going to get to know each other more and more the more we travel together. A really good perfume for that sort of date would be Hermès, a Voyage d'Hermès in this gorgeous little flip bottle. What can I say? Juniper berries, you know, gin. Fresh accord, fresh vibes, gorgeous little, so beautiful. Oh. This is a breezy, airy type of, let's go on the top of a mountain together type of date. Only if you really trust the other person, because you don't want them to end up, you know, to drag you into a cabin somewhere in the middle of nowhere and then nobody's ever going to see you again. We're not having any Buffalo Bill vibes here with this one, okay? It's a sophisticated travel type of date. You are traveling together to get to know each other more. Voyage d'Hermès, the Hermès journey, literally. I adore it. Comes also in a little satchel, protected. Always be safe when you're doing a little satin. Always take the condoms with you. So that one is very good for that purpose. Not for the condom purpose, but for traveling. A travel date. Next one. If you really think that the person you are going on a date with is passive and you want to play out your dominatrix fantasy on a date, and you want to make very clear that you are overpowering them, and you're sure that they are into that. They want to be overpowered. Okay, so this is the type of date where you feel like you want to show very high strength of character. But also at the same time, you want to show them that you're not ready to compromise. So it's a date that can take place in a restaurant, but it can also be a type of date that goes straight into the other person's home. I'm not talking you met each other online and you're just hooking up for the sake of a hookup. No, there's been some more interaction in between. Okay, You actually did speak with each other. This is not just, oh, you look hot, come to my place. No, there's a little bit more interaction happening before that. A few steps have happened in between. And you did realize that you're dealing with a person who wants to be more dominated. And you want to go along with this. Here's the perfume I would recommend for that type of encounter and date. Carnal Flower by Dominique Ropillon from the Frédéric Malle series and collection. So here we have tuberose, 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 honey. And I mean, one spray is all you need. And this thing will take over. And it's very, very tricky with this one because it can end up wearing you. So if you want to dominate on the date, you have to dose this right so that this perfume doesn't overpower you, because it's going to overpower everybody else in the room. So you have to know exactly how to dose this right to also show to your potential partner that you are in control, and you have to learn how to control this perfume if you're going to want to act like you can control the other person as well. Because if you come to that date and this thing is eating you up alive, your potential partner is not going to believe that you can be in control. So it's a very fascinating perfume. It's a perfume that is very challenging. But if it's dosed right and if it's utilized in the right way, you will play out that fantasy during that date to full completion. It's almost a poisonous accord. It's a beautiful fragrance, but it needs science to be dosed in order to activate its full potential. Very SM or BDSM. There you go. There you go. Now, if you just want to signal SEX, almost like douchebag SEX, like, hey baby, I am here and I take what I want and I want you right now and I'm not going to care about you the next morning, but for now you are the one I want and you want me to want you and you're going to want to come with me because I want you and there's no other option for you but to come with me because you know you wanted to. That type of date, only one perfume. It's Sauvage and by Dior, and it is the Eau de Toilette. You know, I have all of the concentrations of this one, you know, Eau de Toilette, Eau de Parfum, Parfum, and Elixir. But the Eau de Toilette would be the douchebag we all love to hate. The panty dropper, as oh so many popular perfume reviewers like to talk, especially the heterosexual men. They would like us to believe they are. But anyway, this is the one you end up going, you know, to a club with, and they are all preppy and the hair is cut perfectly, the beard is trimmed, everything is, you know, clean. Breath is always on fleek, on point, but they're like borderline. Like, you don't know if they're gonna be softies and nice people, or if they're gonna, like, any second now gonna go ballistic and like kill everybody in the room. That type of date with somebody who's not very intelligent, but I think somebody maybe not so wise once said, "Dumb fuck's good." Now, after you've worn this, or after you have been with someone who's wearing this on a date and you did end up in bed, you will probably regret it, but then you're going to want to do it again with them a couple of months later. To know more about those details, check out my review of Sauvage Eau de Toilette by Dior. But the next morning, after you're done with this guy or with this chick or with this whoever, them, there is also a perfume that I would recommend wearing for leaving a date. Yes, a date is also with yourself. And now we're entering that category when you've left that person, the date is over, and you got your walk of shame back home. You're not showered, you're still wearing the same clothes from yesterday, and you're feeling some type of way. You still got the residue of the other person on you or in you, and you're moving on. And you know what I'm going to tell you. It's Paris Paris. This is the perfume for the walk of shame. Always, always and forever. Always and for freaking ever. Let me tell ya. Listen, Linda. The damask rose and the patchouli. The patch. The patch and the rose in here. Check out my review of Paris Paris. I've gone into specific detail how the sunrise looks like. How is the morning after? How is that walk? How does that walk of shame feel like and look like when you're living it as you are actually really leaving that one night stand and you're going to go about your life and you're right in between beginning your actual day again, but you're also still in your memories and your vibe and your whole energy is still vibrating with the person you've spent the night with. So you're kind of torn in between being yourself with yourself and yourself with that other person. Yes, that state is also a date. Oh, a little rhyme. Believe it or not, that is also a date. Because you are, it's actually a ménage à trois, really. Because you are about to re-encounter yourself back at home or at work. So there's that date. But you're still feeling and smelling the skin of the partner you've been, or the partners you've been with the night before. So there's that date as well. And you are also alone as you are right between these two worlds. So it's kind of like three versions of you. So that's why I call that the ménage à trois. The ménage à trois date, symbolic ménage à trois. Paris Paris, the walk of shame, the date of walk of shame. Aish says, oh, Dacob, your Paris Paris review is one of my favorites. That was like being transported into another world. I mean, when I smell this perfume, I am gone. It's a masterpiece, you guys. It's so, so, so beautiful. Highly recommend Paris Paris. And now you've come back home. We've gone on this journey. We've encountered all of these wonderful women, men, and all the in-between. All different scenarios, all different intellectual stimuli, physical stimuli. But after all is said and done, the best date you will ever have is with yourself. Whether it be fiddling the diddling and diddling the skittle, tickling the pickle, whatever you want to do, or just reading a nice book, or cooking a wonderful dinner just for yourself, or pampering yourself after a shower or a bath, putting on all the creams, the lotions, the potions, spending time with yourself. That's the date most worth investing in, emotionally, physically, psychologically. And there is a perfume that I would highly recommend for that. It's just so rich and dense. It almost feels like you're culturally enriching yourself. It's like you're learning something new. It's like you're finding new aspects of yourself. It's literally going on a date with yourself and getting to know yourself better. And I kid you not, this is a new one in my roster and collection, but it's grown quicker than many other perfumes in my collection in terms of how much I respect and love this one. And best one for a date with yourself and yourself, whether that date be at home, or you're going shopping on your own, going to go treat yourself, or you're going to go to your favorite restaurant on your own, treat yourself, you should be wearing this one, baby. Shalimar Millésime d'Iris, the Iris Millésime of Shalimar. I'm obsessed. Obsessed. It kills me in the best way possible every time I smell this. It is a boozy, rich vanilla imbued in iris, but the vanilla is almost like a cognac, but it's also burnt woods, incense, crackling fireplace. Oh man, it just smoke. Guerlain's Shalimar Millésime d'Iris. Oh. This is the perfume you wear when you're by yourself and you just, you're content. You are fulfilled. You know, you are enough. You know what my opinion is on compliment getter or compliment giver perfumes? You should also check out that video on my channel. I've done a whole video on about the top compliment getting perfumes and what does it even mean. Long story short, I'm not a big fan of compliment getter perfumes. I think the perfumes that you get compliments with the most are the ones that clash with your chemistry the most. The perfumes that match your chemistry the most are the ones that other people don't recognize on you because they have melted together with you so well, they've blended in so well that they just are an extension of your own aura. So people subconsciously smell them on you and are attracted to you, but they don't consciously recognize it as an entity separate from you. Like, oh, you are wearing a perfume that smells good. If the perfume is really suited for you, then they will not realize that you're wearing a perfume. They will smell something good, but they'll think it's you. They're not going to ask you what perfume you're wearing. See what I mean? So, slight dent into that rule, this thing. I have never, and I am annoyed by it, because I don't like receiving compliments, but this thing is insane. And but people don't know it's me because it really fits me very well. So what happened was every time I wore this perfume out and a ut and a boot, somebody, okay, so Chanel boutique the other day, went shopping, had this doused in it. I was in the room with the sales associate. Security guard passes by and just says, doesn't know who's wearing the perfume. He's like, something smells so, and he goes to a lady, says, are you wearing this smell? What is this? Is so beautiful. And she's like, I'm not wearing any perfume today. You have to ask somebody else. Maybe it's, that was me. Everywhere I went, people did not know that it was me, but people started like you could see them getting giddy. It invites you to open up. It invites you to experience deliciousness. I'm telling you, this thing is incredible. Best consumed on your own, honey, because you don't want to share this. Listen, Linda, your entire egocentrism comes out because this thing is, I'm like, it's like gold, you know, when you get gold fever and gold rush, like, okay, no, me, I'm going to get it all for myself. Like that's the vibe. When I just spray this on and I kind of like put my nose into my skin, I keep sniffing. And I'm just like, until it's completely gone from my skin, which is many hours later, I don't stop sniffing. Kev, yes, I'm dropping my own panties. Beautiful Step says, my new favorite perfume thanks to you, Dacob. Oh, man, I'm so glad you like it. Oh, and Zach has decanted some of Paris to always have it on the go. IYK. That's for Paris, Paris. But I think it's a crime that Guerlain released this as a limited edition. Come on, what gives? Like this is magical. You can't just release this once. Like, are you insane? This is amazing. The iris, the orris root, the honey, the vanilla, the incensey vibes. Oh, the burnt woods. Oh, Jesus, take the wheel. These were my top 10 date perfumes. I hope you've enjoyed them. Let me know your date fragrances down below. And until next time, thumb up this video, subscribe, and never give up on love. Bye.